Relationships. Super easy for a handful of people, quite hard for the rest of us. First, you have to find someone you have a connection with. Then you may want that person to be attractive. That person probably wants to think the same thing about you, that you are attractive. So that's already pretty challenging, finding two people that find each other attractive. But it's not over, because if you want an actual romantic relationship, well, we obviously need a lot more than just attraction. Yes, you want that person to feel like a best friend, without the both of you being just friends or friends with benefits. No, not those kinds of friends. Then you might want to feel safe and secure around that person. So you can be yourself in that relationship and not be judged for it. Now that person also needs to understand you, and preferably without you saying a single word or having to explain anything, ever. And then, if possible, there should be love as well. Deep love. Not infatuation, but real love that will stand the test of time, where both people melt each other's hearts, so to speak. Yeah, it probably sounds easier to find another planet with aliens on it, doesn't it? But hey, don't worry, because men, some people say, are easy. As a woman, you just have to be attractive. That's it. That's all men look for, an attractive girlfriend or wife. Yeah, that's very wrong, because good men, of course, also want to feel respected, safe to be themselves in their relationship without being judged or yelled at. They want their wife or girlfriend to be their best friend as well, and so on. Not some types of bad men, but I'm not talking about those men here. So their feelings and their heart matters as well. They want to fall for you and have deep feelings of love for you. Now, there are plenty of known ways to melt a woman's heart, but when it comes to a man, you will have to get him more than a cute puppy or a well-thought-of gift. Not that I'm saying you can melt a woman's heart with just a puppy, that was a joke, but let's look at how to melt a man's heart the right way in this video. My name is Geert, I'm an author, I write books about relationships and dating and other topics. I also use the pen name Brian Knox, and I want to start with some important things first. For example, a great way to melt a woman's heart is to make her feel special. Well, men are the same, but the way you do it will sometimes be different. And online you might find tips like, well, just give him a lot of compliments or cook him his favorite meal and other things that will absolutely not melt his heart. Now, giving a good compliment can of course be a good idea, but giving a lot of them just makes it feel cheap and like a game. Here's the thing about giving a man a compliment. If he feels that you're trying to get something from him by giving the compliment, well, then it will lose all of its value. And that's the same for women, of course. A valuable compliment is one where you've noticed something about him that others may not see, or that he hasn't heard of him before. Or a compliment like, I just love the way you hold me in your arms and how you whisper goodnight before we fall asleep. Or, I just love how motivated you are about the projects you're working on. In your own mind, just try to answer the question, what do I love about him that's unique to him, or that I never had in any relationship before? And then tell him what that is. If you want to melt a man's heart, the goal is for him to see you in a different way, or for him to feel that you see him in a special and a positive way. So what works as well is, for example, using a sentence that proves that you have faith in his abilities. For example, you're both driving around in a new city you have never visited before. He's at the wheel, the GPS is malfunctioning, so he cannot find the correct route to the destination. What would break his heart is if you would then say, you always get lost. Let me do this, otherwise we will never get there. What will melt his heart is when you have faith in his abilities and say, I trust you, honey. You will find it. We'll get there. So simple, but so powerful. Because when a good man likes a woman he's in a relationship with, he, in his own mind, has a very important job to do. There are natural processes that will start to run. One of them is to make you happy. Another is to fix things for you. That's why when you come home after work and you want to talk about problems you had that day, that he will come up with solutions instead of to just listen to you. He will also want to protect you in many ways and forms. And if you found a good man that really likes you, then he will take his job seriously. So if you want to break his heart, just tell him he's really bad at those things. And please don't ever do that to a good man. Now, if you notice any of these things and you find it helpful, just tell him. It can make his heart melt. I love that you, and then something he's putting an effort into, works like a charm. I feel safe when you. I love how you got us to our destination in this new city even without a GPS or a map. And you only had to stop and ask for directions 15 times. Don't say that last part. Another great way to make him feel special is, for example, when you have his back when someone makes fun of him in public. You know, when you're, for example, amongst friends and someone likes to make him look ridiculous because of something he often does or says, and you say, "What are you talking about? I love it when he does that," thus having his back. This makes him feel special. Now, if you really want to melt a man's heart, praise him in public. Not only will you give him a compliment or praise him, you'll do it where other people can hear it. That's like giving his ego steroids. If he thinks you are very valuable to him, then you having a positive opinion of him will obviously feel great. If you share that opinion in public, well, then it will feel like heaven. It's like I said in another video, when a man likes you a lot, all he wants is to be your hero. To melt a man's heart, especially when you already have a relationship with him, you can also do something that's very respectful to him. Something that proves that he must be really important to you. However, only when he deserves it, only when he has earned it, of course, because he's an actual good man that treats you well, a man that deserves to be important to you. But in that case, an example is, "I know it's important to you that, so I," and you can use words or just show it through your actions. For example, you're both out with friends and it's getting late. You are having a lot of fun, but he's tired and he would like to go home to get some sleep. You are not tired at all, but you say, "Sure, let's go home," even though all of your friends are asking for you to stay. That's again proof to him that he must be important to you. Another great way to make him feel respected is to ask for his opinion. So this time you do ask for how he would fix a certain problem you have. And if you then trust his opinion, if you value it, whether you follow it or not, then that will be a great sign of respect to him. Also, showing compassion, so proving that his feelings matter to you, that's another great way to melt anyone's heart. Now you might be thinking, if I say these things to him, like I give him a nice compliment, will that not scare him away? Well, if he's the wrong guy for you, then probably yes. If he doesn't like you enough and he knows he doesn't want to have a future with you, then yes. If he's the right guy and he has earned it by treating you well, then no. When he likes you and he hears any of the things we discussed, how could that possibly not make his heart melt? And don't worry, if it would still fail, you can always buy him a puppy. There you go. I hope you found value in this video. If you want more, you can visit brianknox.com or Amazon, where you can type my pen name Brian Knox in the search box. I want to thank you for sticking around until the very end of this video. You melt my heart by doing that, and I hope to see you in another one.